All right, today we're diving into a really cool idea. How do you actually train a team to develop a shared, almost physical sense of coordination? It's all about moving past just working together and building a kind of collective memory right into their movements, creating a team that is just completely in sync. Seriously, just think about it for a second. Maybe it was a sports team, a work project, even playing in a band, where everything just flowed. You didn't even have to talk, you all just knew what the next move was. That's the exact feeling we're going to unpack today. So, what is that? Is it just magic? What's the secret sauce that makes a team operate with that kind of perfect synergy? Well, as we're about to find out, it's got a lot less to do with magic and a lot more to do with a very specific, intentional process. Yeah, getting to that level of teamwork is no accident. It's a structured journey, a path that pretty much any team can follow. And the source material for this explainer lays out this journey in some really clear, observable stages. The whole process is broken down into three distinct stages, so let's just walk through them, one by one. Everything kicks off with stage one, which is called the calibration of perception. This is the ground floor. It's the foundational phase where everyone on the team learns to see the same environment in the same way and, even more importantly, learns how to move together within it. It's all about getting your senses and your actions on the same wavelength. I just listened to the language here, right? Reach, pass, pivot. It's so physical. It almost sounds like a basketball team running drills or a dance crew learning their choreography. The idea is that every single tiny decision, every micro decision, starts sending these little ripples through the whole group. And those ripples create these waves, these oscillations of coordination, until bam, everyone is perfectly aligned. Okay, so once you've got those basic moves down, you hit stage two, practicing structural integrity. Now, this is where you start to really test those connections you just built. It's about throwing in some pressure, some unexpected changes, a little bit of chaos, just to see if that team bond holds strong. So, how do you practice that? Well, you could create scenarios where the rewards suddenly change, or you have to figure things out when a key person or tools suddenly disappears. By navigating that kind of stuff, the team starts to build a muscle memory for staying together when things get tough. It stops being something you have to think about. It just becomes a reflex. And all that practice brings us to the final stage, which is honestly the coolest part, the emergence of collective strategy. This is the absolute peak. This is where the group basically operates with a shared mind. They're anticipating moves, they're creating new strategies in the moment, all without needing a big meeting to talk it all through. I know, some of these are big terms, so let's break them down. Affordance coupling, that's just a fancy way of saying the team sees an opportunity together and acts on it together, like it's a reflex. Their decisions become anticipatory. They're not just reacting anymore. And this incredible collective intuition starts to emerge. They develop a felt sense of how the whole system works, and they can act like one single intelligent organism. All right, so we've seen the three stages, but what's the actual engine that pushes a team through them? Let's take a look at the unseen rules that make this whole thing work. The engine driving this whole journey is a concept called coherence gradients. The easiest way to think about this is like a current or a natural flow. It's the pathway that takes all the external conditions, the rules, the environment, and translates them step by step into coordinated team action and eventually powerful results. And here's how that flow works. It's a pretty clear progression. It all starts with constraints, the rules of the game. The constraints then shape the incentives, what gets rewarded. Those incentives drive the team's actions, and those actions, well, they produce the final outcomes. It's like a chain reaction that literally teaches a team how to work as one. So when a team really masters this flow, something amazing happens. The value they create doesn't just add up, it actually multiplies. Let's look at how that value evolves as the team gets tighter and tighter. In the very beginning, the contributions are pretty basic. You might even call them expendable. We're talking about simple, repeatable tasks that pretty much anyone on the team could handle. It's the starting line, but it's not where the magic is. But as that team coordination gets better, the value they create becomes extensible. This means a skill they learned for one problem can now be stretched or adapted to solve a completely new but related challenge. The team is getting way more versatile. And from there, it grows to be expandable. Now, this is all about scale. The effective ways of working they've developed can be scaled up to handle much, much bigger tasks without the whole thing falling apart. The system is getting stronger. And this
This is the ultimate goal. The value becomes exponential. This is where the team's output is just so much greater than the sum of what each person could do on their own. This is when a team doesn't just meet a goal, they invent an entire new category. This is what true synergy looks like.
So what makes that kind of crazy growth possible? Well, the source points to three main things. First, observable affordances, which just means the team gets really good at spotting opportunities. Second, rewarded exchanges, which reinforces what works and creates positive loops. And third, fractal configurations. This just means that successful patterns start to repeat themselves naturally. What works for two people starts working for the whole team, and so on.
So when you put all of these different pieces of the puzzle together, what you get is a really powerful vision for the future.
And that quote really just nails it, doesn't it? This whole idea isn't just about being more efficient. It's about creating an environment where value can literally bloom, an environment where all the friction and misunderstanding is gone, and all that's left is the seamless, beautiful results of deep practice, shared senses, and a whole lot of trust. So if there's one big takeaway, it's this shift right here. It's about moving away from individual brute force effort and moving towards a state of true integration, where the entire system works as one cohesive, intelligent whole. And that really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Imagine if we applied this journey to our own projects, our own companies, our own communities. What amazing new possibilities could bloom? What massive, complex challenges could we finally solve if our teams truly learned how to see, feel, and act as one?